Imagine this. You're a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, or a best friend. And you get a call late one night that someone you loved has been killed, murdered in cold blood. This would be heartbreaking. But what would be even more heartbreaking would be to find out that the person that killed your loved one should not have been here in the first place. And if they were where they were supposed to be, your loved one would still be here. This is a story of 32-year-old Kate Steinle. Kate was walking through the streets late one night in San Francisco when she was gunned down and murdered in cold blood by an illegal alien. An illegal alien who had been deported 5 times already, but still made it back into our country. This is just one of many reasons of why the wall should be built. There's a list of reasons of why this is important. American safety, the prevention of innocent lives lost, the reduction of drug and sex trafficking, the money that will be saved from the American taxpayer, and much more. There's also multiple Christian perspectives, different Christian perspectives of how you can look at this situation, and I'll explain to you what mine is. But first, let's look at some of the statistics that lead me to believe why the wall should be built. Illegal aliens commit at least 2,158 murders each year. That is 3 times the greater participation than their proportion of population. What this statistic means is that they are committing murder 3 times more than they should be based on the size of their population. This is how the wall could save American lives. Moving into drug and sex trafficking. 20,000 young women and children each year are sex trafficked across our southern border from Mexico into the United States. If we had a wall up, these 20,000 young, innocent women and children would not be able to be sex trafficked and sold solely for sex across our borders. That would mean there's 20,000 less sex slaves in the United States. And it would also cripple the industry in Mexico because they would lose a lot of money not being able to sell their sex slaves to America. Now, focusing on the drug trafficking. 90 to 94% of all heroin in the United States comes from Mexico. 93% of all cocaine in the United States comes through Mexico and across our southern border into our country. If we had a wall up, this number would be drastically lower than it is. Drastically lower. That would mean less heroin, less cocaine, and less of other drugs that are in the United States that are pushing the drug epidemic and pushing drug addiction, causing more and more people to get addicted to drugs and ruining lives of individuals and lives of families. Now to talk about how much money it's costing us. And when I say us, I mean American taxpayers, legal citizen American taxpayers. It costs us billions of dollars each year. Illegal immigration does. $11 to $22 billion each year is spent on welfare to illegal immigrants. $1.9 billion is spent on food assistance for illegal immigrants. This is just a couple statistics of the billions of dollars that is spent. There is much more. The fact is, though, that while we are spending all this money and saying all this tax money to them, when they should not be getting it because they are not citizens, illegal households only pay 1/3 of what legal citizen households pay. 1/3 in taxes. So not only are they receiving more benefits from the government, they're paying less to the government. Now, when it comes to Christian perspectives, there's a couple. It's pretty much split in two, as most things are nowadays in the political climate. There are those that say, we need to let them all in. We need to help them. There are people that need help. There are people that need help. There's a lot of people that need help. And I'm not arguing that fact. The fact that I'm arguing is that we can't just let anybody and everybody into our country without knowing who they are and what they're up to. For instance, I'm in a house with 4 walls, and locked doors. I always try to buy the homeless food. If I see them outside a restaurant or if I have some in my car, I like to give it to them. I like to give it to them because I'm more fortunate than they are and I want to pay it forward. I want to give them, I want to be able to feed them, make sure they're not hungry for a little while. But at the same time, I'm not going to invite them into my home to sleep in my house because I don't know exactly who they are and I don't know what their history is. They could be violent, they could be sex offenders, they could be drug dealers. I don't need that in my house. That's how I think our country should be. We need the border wall because we need to know who's coming in. Legal immigration is great. Get good, hard-working people over here. But we need legal immigration. We can't have illegal immigration because if we have illegal immigration, everyone can just walk across. We don't know who's coming in. Yes, there will be a lot of good people that come in, but there also is going to be a lot of bad people that come in, and they'll hurt American citizens. I believe President Trump said it best one time. He said, "We don't want to put up a wall because we hate the people on the outside. It's because we love the people on the inside." And last I checked, heaven has gates and hell has open borders. Thank you.